Space was a lonely place. Trevor knew this better than most. Decades ago, his ship, the Stardust Voyager, suffered a catastrophic failure in its jump drive. He was stranded, adrift in the vast emptiness between star systems. His only companions were the ship's AI, a soothing voice named Athena, and a team of tireless repair androids. The androids kept the Stardust Voyager limping along. They diligently followed Athena's instructions, maintaining life support and essential systems. Trevor, meanwhile, pored over star charts and ancient logs. He searched desperately for any clue that might lead him back to charted space. Years turned into decades. Hope dwindled with each passing day. Trevor aged, his hair turning silver, his face etched with the trials of his solitary journey. He never gave up hope. He continued to send out his distress beacon, a faint pulse of energy echoing in the vast cosmic dark. Even if the universe seemed deaf to his pleas, he clung to the belief that someone someday might hear his call. Every day he looked out at the stars, a million pinpricks of light against the endless black canvas. Each one represented a potential solar system, a world teeming with life. Yet he remained tragically out of reach, trapped in his metal prison, yearning for a connection that seemed eternally out of grasp. The void seemed content to keep him, a silent, forgotten traveler in its infinite expanse. The signal was faint, barely a whisper against the background noise of the cosmos. It was a routine scan, conducted on the bridge of the starship Aurora, that picked up the distress beacon. The Aurora, a vessel far more advanced than anything Trevor could have imagined, specialized in deep space exploration and rescue. Captain Juno, a young woman with fiery red hair and a spirit to match, was immediately intrigued. The signal was ancient, originating from a sector of space considered uncharted and perilous. It was a mystery, and Juno, with the adventurous spirit of a seasoned explorer, was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. "Plot a course," she commanded, her voice echoing with a quiet authority that belied her youthful appearance. "Let's see who's calling for help out there." The Aurora, with its powerful engines, adjusted course, venturing deeper into the unknown. Excitement rippled through the crew as they prepared for the unexpected. They were about to encounter a piece of history, a ghost ship lost in the void. The distress beacon, though faint, promised a story. Juno was determined to uncover it, to offer aid to whoever or whatever was sending out that desperate plea. News of the Stardust Voyager's discovery spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Trevor, once presumed lost, became a legend reborn. His name, once whispered in hushed tones as a cautionary tale of the dangers of deep space, now echoed with awe and admiration. He had survived where countless others had perished. When the Aurora finally located the Stardust Voyager, it was a relic of a bygone era, its hull scarred and worn from decades of exposure to the harsh realities of interstellar travel. Yet it still held together, a testament to the enduring spirit of both man and machine. Boarding the Stardust Voyager, Captain Juno found Trevor, a frail figure but with eyes that still shone with intelligence and a spirit that refused to be broken. Time, it seemed, had not diminished his sharp wit or his quiet dignity. He greeted Juno with a gentle smile, his voice raspy from disuse but filled with gratitude. "Thank you," he whispered, his eyes welling up. "I had begun to think no one would ever find me." The galaxy Trevor returned to was far different from the one he remembered. Advancements in technology had reshaped civilization. What was once considered impossible was now commonplace. Among these advancements was a marvel of genetic engineering and cybernetics, a process to transfer a person's consciousness into a new, younger body. Captain Juno, touched by Trevor's ordeal and recognizing his vast knowledge and indomitable spirit, offered him this incredible gift. It was a chance to experience the wonders of a world he thought he'd never see again, to live out a new life filled with possibilities. It was a difficult decision to leave behind the familiar, even if that familiar was the aging hull of the Stardust Voyager and the comforting voice of his AI companion. The idea of a second chance, however, was too tempting to resist. To feel the warmth of the sun on his skin again, to walk among the stars, not just observe them from afar. It was a siren call he couldn't ignore. And so, with a mixture of trepidation and hope, Trevor agreed to the transfer. He was ready to embrace the future, to become a part of this new world that had blossomed in his absence.
The transition was seamless, a gentle drift from oblivion into the warm embrace of existence. Trevor's first sensation was one of weightlessness, of being cradled in a comforting void. Then came the sounds, muffled and distant at first, gradually resolving into the gentle thrum of machinery and the soft murmur of voices. Slowly, tentatively, he opened his eyes, his vision blurry and unfocused. The world swam into view, a kaleidoscope of shapes and colors that slowly began to make sense. He saw the gentle curve of a woman's face, her features etched with concern and a hint of relief. Her eyes, a warm and welcoming hazel, held a depth of kindness that resonated deep within him. This was Captain Juno, a woman renowned throughout the fleet for her unwavering courage and her compassionate heart. A legend in her own right, she had earned the respect of her crew and the admiration of her peers. And now she was looking down at him, a newborn babe cradled in her arms with an expression of wonder and a hint of awe.
Welcome back, little one. You are safe now. You are home.
The words, though simple, resonated with a profound sense of comfort and belonging. Trevor, still adjusting to the strange new reality of his existence, felt a surge of emotion welling up within him. It was a feeling he had not experienced in what felt like eons, a feeling of safety, of being loved, of being home. Captain Juno, with the gentle touch of a seasoned caregiver, lifted him into her arms. He felt the warmth of her embrace, the gentle sway of her body as she moved about the ship. Her scent, a comforting blend of ozone, polished metal, and something distinctly feminine, filled his nostrils, grounding him in the present moment. It was a far cry from the sterile confines of the medical bay, and yet it felt right. This was his new beginning, and in the arms of this kind and capable woman he felt a sense of hope bloom within him. This was his new captain, his new mother. The world viewed from the perspective of an infant was a strange and wonderful place. Colours were brighter, sounds were sharper, and every sensation was amplified, a symphony of new and exciting experiences. Trevor, his mind still sharp and aware despite his physical limitations, observed everything with an insatiable curiosity. He watched as the crew went about their duties, their movements precise and efficient, their faces reflecting the quiet confidence of seasoned spacefarers. He listened to the hum of the engines, the gentle thrumming a constant lullaby that resonated deep within him. Captain Juno, true to her word, had taken him under her wing, becoming his surrogate mother in this strange new life. She carried him everywhere, strapping him to her chest in a specially designed carrier as she navigated the bustling corridors of the spaceship. He attended crew briefings, standing up in her lap like a tiny, silent observer, his wide eyes absorbing the flow of information, the strategic discussions, the camaraderie that bound this group of spacefarers together. He quickly learned that life aboard a starship was a delicate balance of routine and the unexpected. There were scheduled maintenance checks, astrogation calculations, and communication relays with distant outposts. But there were also moments of sudden excitement, like the time they encountered a rogue asteroid field and the ship shook with the impact of near misses as the shields held, or the time they received a distress signal from a stranded freighter, and Captain Juno, without hesitation, diverted course to answer the call. Through it all, Captain Juno remained a steady presence, her calm demeanor and decisive leadership a source of comfort and reassurance. She would often talk to him, explaining the intricacies of how the new technology worked, sharing anecdotes from her own illustrious career, her voice a soothing melody that washed over him. He understood the words, the emotion behind them, and it filled him with a sense of peace and belonging. He was safe, he was loved, and he was home. The spaceship, a marvel of engineering and ingenuity, became Trevor's playground, his classroom, his universe. Its metallic corridors, echoing with the rhythmic hum of life support systems, were his racetracks. Its observation deck, offering breathtaking panoramas of the cosmos, became his window to the soul of creation. Its crew, a diverse and eccentric bunch hailing from all corners of the galaxy, became his extended family. The women on board in particular seemed to gravitate towards him. Perhaps it was his inherent charm, the legacy of his past life shining through his bright eyes. Or maybe it was simply the novelty of having a baby on board a vessel usually filled with the rough and tumble of seasoned spacefarers. Whatever the reason, he was showered with affection.
Oh, look at you, little one. You've got the whole ship wrapped around your tiny finger.
There was Lieutenant Zia, the ship's communications officer, a master of languages and codes who would whisper alien lullabies in his ear while she worked, her voice as smooth as silk, teaching him alien languages.
You are just the cutest thing, aren't you? Who knew space could be so full of love?
Dr. Anya, the ship's CMO, with her gentle touch and ready smile, ensuring he received the best possible care. Never shy about giving him a quick diaper change. Even the gruff chief engineer, a towering woman named Greta, with a voice that could shake the stars, would melt under his gaze, her gruff exterior giving way to surprising tenderness as she explained how to fix something. He thrived in this environment, soaking up the love and attention like a sponge. He watched, he listened, he learned. He observed the subtle nuances of human interaction, the unspoken language of gestures and expressions. He listened to the crew's stories, their tales of daring adventures and narrow escapes. His mind abuzz with excitement and wonder, smiling and clapping with joy if the story was a good one. He was, in essence, downloading information at an astonishing rate, his brain unburdened by the limitations of his infant form, processing and storing everything he experienced. As the years passed, Trevor grew from a wide-eyed infant into a spirited toddler. His small frame darted through the ship's labyrinthine corridors with the agility of a seasoned explorer. The crew watched in amazement as he quickly became a valued member of their interstellar family. Despite his tender age, Trevor's wisdom from his past life proved to be very useful in unexpected ways. One fateful day, the ship's alarm blared, signaling a catastrophic failure in the engine room. Dozens of lives were at risk. Panic rose when they discovered the repair drones had been badly damaged in the first minor explosion, but Trevor remained calm. His small size allowed him to navigate the tight spaces within the ship's machinery, reaching areas even the most skilled engineers couldn't. With a determined gleam in his eye, he identified the malfunction and worked swiftly to avert disaster. The crew held their breath, and then victory. Toddler Trevor emerging dirty but grinning with pride. Gruff Chief Engineer Greta putting him on her shoulders as the engineer crew cheered and clapped. The video image streaming across video panels all over the ship. The ship was saved from major damage, all thanks to Trevor's quick thinking and bravery. A new policy was put in place to store extra repair drones further apart to avoid such a thing from ever happening again. This act of heroism earned him the respect of the men aboard, who now saw him not just as a child, but as an indispensable part of their team. The women, already smitten with his innocent charm and chubby cheeks, adored him even more. They showered him with praise and affection, their hearts swelling with pride. Despite his growing independence and the specially made chair crafted just for him, Captain Juno still insisted that Trevor sit on her lap during crew meetings or while on the bridge. She never pushed his choice, but Trevor secretly liked being in Captain Juno's lap. Her little advisor and adopted son who still took showers with his new mother, it was a gesture that symbolized the bond they shared, a blend of maternal affection and mutual respect. Trevor's presence brought a unique energy to the crew, a blend of youthful exuberance and ancient wisdom that inspired everyone around him. Life aboard the starship was unpredictable, filled with challenges and adventures at times. But with Trevor by their side, the crew felt invincible, ready to face whatever the cosmos had in store for them.